Next up is a major lawsuit about something else that ties to Joe Biden, although it really isn't focused necessarily on Mr. Biden. It's about this unmaskings issue. Now, remember Samantha Power, the United Nations ambassador for the United States under President Obama? She reportedly had 260 unmaskings of American citizens, which is highly unusual. Most senior officials rarely, if ever, unmask anybody in their capacities as senior foreign intelligence, as senior officials that have top secret or secret clearance, national security clearances, and receive intelligence. And unmasking typically is an American name is picked up in the spy operations the U.S. conducts abroad or of foreign nationals. So let's say KGB officer X is talking to KGB officer Y. I know the KGB doesn't exist, but bear with me. And they mention, hey, we have so-and-so on the take. That's when someone's name might be unmasked if so-and-so is an American citizen. Well, in the case of General Flynn, they were unmasking him. The vice president was, Biden, Samantha Power was, Obama's chief of staff was, obviously on behalf of the president, and a whole host of everyone at the top levels of the Obama administration. They were unmasking him just because they were trying to figure out ways to undermine the Trump administration. So that was necessarily an abuse of power, may have been a violation of law. And Power's testimony on this issue has kind of been all over the place. We just put out a release on it today. So in 2017, it was reported that Power had unmasked 260 persons. She was unmasking at such a rapid rate in the final months of the Obama administration that she averaged more than one request for every working day in 2016, even seeking information in the days leading up to President Trump's inauguration. I bet you that was tied to Flynn and the whole Russiagate smear operation. She said, though, that the unmaskings were under her name, but she didn't ask for them. Now, I don't know how that works. It doesn't sound right to me, but that's what she testified. I did not make those requests. Is that going to be Biden's excuse for his unmasking of General Flynn? He didn't make the request. Someone made it in his name. I don't know. Is anyone going to ask him the question? Is Durham going to ask him the question? And Power was an anti-Trumper. So let's be clear here. It wasn't, politically speaking, she wasn't one of these career bureaucrats who just made it as the UN ambassador, and she was doing her duties under the U.S. Constitution, which I don't necessarily think she wasn't. But she was a political operative, a political appointee of President Obama, and she obviously had, because her email traffic demonstrates that, a political animus to President Trump, the incoming president. Now, we had asked for documents about Samantha Power's unmaskings, and back when they first came out in 2018, we had sued we had asked beginning in 2017, we sued in 2018, and we didn't get anywhere. You know why? Because this administration's State Department told us, they gave us what is called a GLOMAR response, which is named after a ship. I don't know if it was our ship or the Russian ship. I forget. Well, anyway, we were doing we were trying to figure out whether, I guess a sub had sunk or there's been something related to the Russians. And we're doing a deep sea expedition to see what we could get. Someone had asked questions about it, and I think the ship was the USS Glomar or something like that, the Glomar Explorer, maybe. And the response from the agency CIA was, we can't confirm or deny. And you can just imagine on national security issues why it is an agency might say, we can't confirm or deny what it is we have or don't have. They often give us that that answer in response to a request about like to protect the identities of CIA employees. We don't confirm or deny who works or doesn't work for us. You want to you don't want to give the other side any information that could harm our national security. And so the law allows, under court rulings, the law allows that type of response in certain national security situations. That's the response they gave us to the unmaskings. They couldn't even confirm or deny if she asked for anything to be unmasked. So it was an over-the-top assertion of the I can't confirm or deny. Unfortunately, the court upheld it, so the case ended. Well, thankfully, the Office of Director of National Intelligence released the list of those who requested unmaskings of General Flynn. Samantha Power was on that list. As a result, they no longer have the excuse, the deep state does, to deny our request as we can't confirm or deny. So we refiled our request. They ignored us again. So we sued. We sued in federal court. I mean, don't you love Judicial Watch? I mean, we're told no. We go to court. The court says no. Circumstances change. We ask again, and then we go to court again on the same issue. Why? Because it's the worst corruption scandal in American history. Everyone else wants to just pretend it didn't happen or cover it up. But I don't know about you, but I want as much accountability as possible for that terrible corruption that saw all our intelligence agencies being used for political purposes to improperly spy on American citizens, namely the incoming president of the United States. And in the case of these unmaskings, it was part of in my view, it was in part of a seditious conspiracy against the incoming president to undermine his ability to do his job, targeting Flynn and things like that. So our request, you're going to like our request. All requests for information submitted to any intelligence community member agency by former United States Ambassador to the United Nations Samantha Power concerning any actual or suspected effort by the Russian government or any individual acting on behalf of the Russian government to influence the 2016 presidential election, the alleged hacking of computer systems utilized by the Democratic National Committee and/or the Clinton presidential campaign, any actual suspected communication between any member of the Trump presidential campaign or transition team and any official or employee of the Russian government or individual acting on behalf of the Russian government. The identities of U.S. citizens associated with the Trump presidential campaign or transition team who are identified pursuant to intelligence collection activities, all records or responses received by former United States Ambassador to the United Nations Samantha Power or a representative in response to her requests on the various topics. So we want it all. We want to know what she asked for and what she got. And as I say in the release, the entire world now knows. Let me read my quote. It's a good quote. Oftentimes I put these quotes in our press releases and I forget about them and I look at them and say, well, that's a great quote. I agree with me. And here it is. The entire world now knows the Obama administration went on an unprecedented fishing expedition, which involved unmasking General Flynn, but almost certainly others tied to the Trump campaign, including the president and his family. You may have seen the reports that they think his family was unmasked as well. They were spying on his family. So when you hear unmasking, substitute the word spying. Unmasking means they were spying on a foreigner, and now through that, they were able to pick up information on an American citizen. So they're using that spying activity to get information on an American citizen. Unmasking is spying. The president of the United States, Trump's team, was spied upon in massive ways by the Obama administration. 260 requests. 260 requests just from one official. And for almost 3 years, the State Department has been stonewalling our request for information on this basic Obama Gate information. And we hope the court tears down this stone wall. As I say, around the worst corruption scandal in American history. Now remember that unmasking material that was released by the ODNI, I forget if that was Rich Grinnell or the new director, John Ratcliffe, who released it. Either way, they both deserve credit because they began the kind of the process to uncover this material, or at least partially uncover it. It was only partially. It was only partial because we don't have everything they were unmasking. We need everything. I mean, even this lawsuit is partial in terms of what it's asking for, because we're just asking for what Samantha Power was looking for. I suppose we could do the same with the CIA, with Brennan. I suppose we could do the same with Clapper, who is the head of the Office of Director of National Intelligence under Obama. Kerry, did Kerry do unmaskings? I think so. State Department head under Obama. Who wasn't unmasking? More importantly, who wasn't the target of this spying within the Trump campaign? Because you can bet, as I said, Trump, General Flynn, his family, Lord knows who else. So once again, Judicial Watch to the rescue to figure out the truth, the full truth about the Obamagate scandal.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.